Hey guys, Tightrope here bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Minsk Pocket. Playing today spawning in the north, we have Juan playing as US Forces who has airborne. Oh, looking into tactical support there. Teaming up with him is MobyDack playing as Soviets who has anti-infantry, guard rifle combined arms, and guard motor. From the south we have Kejsare playing as OKW who has fortifications, breakthrough, and special operations, and finally Apple Chief with Ostheer who has close air support, encirclement, and Spearhead. This is a Patreon backer submitted game. Allies arranged team, excuse me, around 2,000. Axis also an arranged team, around 4,500. So really tank trap upon the fuel. Would be best to get some wire on that as well, because at the moment the Axis can use that. If they manage to get up here and harass this fuel point, definitely worth spending the extra 15 seconds or so. Small spray of bullets there. Just waiting in the corner, doing some backcapping. Would be best to try to spread these units out if possible, just because you don't want them both to get suppressed by an MG42 potentially. Unless you, of course, know the location of the MG42, then sure, use them together. You can get a good flank going, but up until that point, it's a little bit risky in these very early stages to have both your units right next to each other. The squad doesn't get AoE suppressed. That's pretty good fortune for one. Needs to be very, very close to the AoE suppression threshold. Coming around the corner here with the riflemen, but folks and regular grenadiers there. And eventually the riflemen are going to lose this. Meanwhile, Sternpost continuing to cap up this side. Guys haven't connected their munitions yet. I'll call around the side here, but ultimately outnumbered. Decide to cut and run there. Oftentimes you'd be very close to a flamethrower at this timing, but Allies not with the munitions control, so don't have that option. And it does typically make conscripts start a bit weaker when you don't have that flamer in the early stage. Sternpost on the advance here. 4 conscripts from MobyDack. Going with anti-infantry. Don't see that too often, the 4 conscripts these days, unless you're going for like airborne troops or PPSHs. 3 conscripts, 2 combat engineers, definitely the more popular option these days. Especially if you want to try and stretch to like a squad of assault guards with that extra 70 manpower difference. Does make a pretty nice impact. Sternpost waiting around the corner here. She's also behind heavy cover. Tough to push in here. Could start upgrading the flamethrower now, but in enemy territory. Just overwhelming numbers from MobyDack. Okay, good push going. Conscripts coming around the corner here, but running right into 2 grenadiers and a second machine gun now. So it's going to be tough to outmaneuver. Number of retreats forced. Conscripts a little idle up in the north, but now they're going. And good teamwork here from the Allies. Forcing off the OKW plague. A lot of free territory down this side now, away from those MG42s. Get some nice capping going. MobyDack gonna go for a machine gun, which is okay. Typically the Maxim does win the head-to-head against the MG42, so it's kind of an anti-MG42 tool, while also not leaving yourself caught short against the opposing infantry. Oh, but he's going for a 3rd machine gun now, Apple Chief. So mortar maybe on the cards. And hasn't gotten tier 2, so no 222 on the horizon. Not that the allies know that though. They are capping up quite nicely. They've already drained 40 VPs, but I'm about to reverse that. The major coming in now for, captain rather, which is a touch on the late side. By the time he ticks mechanized, it would end up being a very late anti-air half track. So maybe we're going to skip past that. Command point's still quite slow as well, so not very close to 3 command points for a quad either. So this might be a no light vehicle style match for Juan. See how many command points he gets in this fight here. Maxim pushing up with this. G20 is pulling back. Could be a wipe though, and does get it. Just so many rifles there. Nice kill. Good idea there. Leave the combat engineers behind. Maybe get some mines up while they're capping would be ideal. Looks like with the help of the incendiary grenade and the stern post, OKW player winning this fight. Not quite enough firepower there. Got very close to 3 command points, but not quite there. Still would be an okay time for the quad, but just didn't quite get it.
We're losing a capture point.
Doesn't take mechanized yet, so definitely not going to be an anti-air half track. I think he might even try and just fight this, even a slightly losing fight, just try and get those extra command points. Even if you don't want to go for the quad, maybe you could pick up an M1919 while you're back here with the extra, you know, like 10% of a command point. Maxim setting up over here. A little bit surprised these pies can't see it back there. Must be just outside range of Apple Chief. There we go, Maxim getting to work, but MG42 is in range and does have the superior cover. And wow, fast pins there, very, very fast. Don't usually see pins that quick. Okay, it is going to be the half track and upgrading with the quad.
A capture point is being overrun.
And the X is not very well prepared for this, honestly. They don't have any anti-tank. So should be quite strong at this in this position. Looks like they're also trying to go for a fast tech mechanized into SWS. Okay, triple tech structures for Kejsare. Not a very good build, typically. straight King Tiger. It's usually a bit of a stretch. Might be better to start using attack move on some of these units moving around. They don't just run in to close range against the stern pies like that. Greedy's capping out on the side. We've got a munitions cache down for one. That's interesting. Trying to reposition into cover after the fight as it started, but just taking too much damage. Maybe if they were in light cover, could have stored out for long enough there. And here comes the quad again. Gotta make sure you don't take a Faust on it if possible. do have a Raketen built in response. Coming in from the side. We've got the rifleman from the other side, so nowhere to hide there. Could now drive into the retreat path a bit. Try to catch them as they're getting out of there. Molotov out. Conscripts should be able to win that. Throwing a grenade, but they get suppressed, shortening the range. But the rifleman's going to come through. So getting there just before the Peregrines got into range for that grenade. Like some decent damage there from the quad. Close to Vet 1 now. Don't think they got any squad wipes though. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, all 3 tech trucks up. Upgrading to mechanized as well as the medics. But yeah, what is the mechanized truck doing in this build, you know? It's just completely pointless if you're not going to build a vehicle from it. There we go, Raketen connecting once. Just gets out of there in time. That was a close one. M5's not the fastest of vehicles. Ooh! Wow, I did not expect that to die there. That was home free, clean and easy. Mechanized truck, mechanized tier 4 tech structure down. Better to build at least one of these tech structures close to the edge of the base so you can reinforce off it. Especially because quite often there's a lot of team weapon fighting around this part of the map, so having a reinforcement point on the edge of your base, quite handy. So one of these tech structures should be built right at the edge here. Maybe you don't want to block this machine gun if possible, but somewhere else. And also by spreading out your base structures makes you less susceptible to howitzers, which are more popular at these ranks. Howitzers into your base continuously. Quad has been a little bit slow returning to action. A bit slow on the repairs. Ford ambulance play now for Juan, who's got a lot of M1919s, which is good, because if you're going to try use Ford reinforcing and maybe Ford retreat points, you might not get a chance to go back to your base for quite some time. Major about to pop out now. Coming in from the side, MG42 repositioning, looking for the angle. It's tough to fight the conscripts though, not the more threatening riflemen, but oh, there's a second machine gun back there as well as the flak base. So this flank attempt shut down hard in a late retreat. Rifleman down.
Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Coming in here with the quad. Pretty good movement with it there. Comes a Katyusha. Oh, but targeting a bit shallow. Oh, but it gets a good bit of scatter there. MG clumped up on the trees. It's like right on the Katyusha's end range. Very good fortune there. Clearing off one of those machine guns, which I think is a pretty reasonable idea. Katyusha first in this kind of game. Oh boy, but Ambo gets pushed by the infantry and goes down. Got a couple of anti-tank guns for the allies, so they are prepared for the vehicles. Getting some suppression in. This barrage close range as well. Getting setting up. Oh! Abandoned. We need to use the Vet 1 speed boost on the quad there to get away with it. MG in the building over here, but the Pakao is still relatively close, can probably barrage that. Get into some cover here. Maybe we could jump into this building, maybe use that heavy cover as well. Bring in the planes from the far side. hit too much. Fair propaganda over here as well. So that might have forced some retreats. Incendiary grenade working well, but this is ultimately a losing fight for Kejsare, just so badly outnumbered. Can't hold on for any longer. Got to recrew the machine gun. It was covered by this other machine gun, so very hard for the Allies to steal that away after getting the decrew. And Juan gonna go for the Sherman first, which is a fine choice. Also have the option, of course, going for the Jackson first, and then you can probably go the Calliope very safely after that. Already have decent, anti-infantry still with the quad on the field. Got the rear echelon in that now. Incendiary grenade out. Reasonable dodge. The Maxim setting up. So double Molotovs, but here come the LMG Grenadiers from the other side. Fair propaganda again. This should be pretty good activation. Got the assault guards closing in now. No dodge on the bundle. Nade, and it wipes the whole squad. But the Katyusha barrage coming in, and that gets another wipe. Oh, but there's a flak panzer there as well. Assault guards now getting hit by the flak base. Need to get out of there. But yeah, very strange. Flak panzer so late for Apple Chief. Needs to be hitting the field about maybe 3 minutes earlier than this if you want to go for like a fast flak panzer. Got the Stug on the field though, and that knocks out the quad. Combat engineers dead as well out the back. Panzer getting busy. Whoa, the ambo on Ford ambo again in the same spot, and it dies again. Into tank grenade now, but the Stug coming in. Sherman rolling up. Oh, doesn't quite get through the Stug. Stug able to fire. But there's this coming in from the rear and snares on both these tanks now. This and Sherman should be able to clean them up. Panzer tactician action from Apple Chief, but not going to get the job done with that. Attack groundwork. A few misses, bounces. Ouch. Big losses on both sides. Definitely the flak panzer and the Stug though more costly in terms of fuel. Sherman coming in and doing a bit of friendly fire there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Get fire!
It's ready 5 now for MobyDack. A little bit out the back here, maybe targeting the machine gun. Looks like it's a tiny bit too deep though, not hitting anything. Big priority for the Allies now is to hold on to this pack howie, make sure it doesn't get killed off. It'd be a shame to lose it. Sherman still requiring some repairs.
There's a major reporting for action.
Promotion just came through. I'm bleeding out. God damn it! Someone get us out of here.
Stonepie's hanging around here for way too long, and Kejsare, a huge amount of manpower flow at this stage. I'm surprised we haven't seen like double overs built by him. Something like that. It's enough for the Panther. But maybe going to go for that King Tiger like I was talking about. Straight King Tiger. Fair propaganda coming down again. Backing up, and there we go. Forced to retreat by that now as well. Assault guards making their play. Incendiary grenade. No, infiltration grenades. Big damage onto the machine gun. Assault guards looking for some DPS. Maybe if they're vetted up, they could get the job done here, but not quite. Now running into triple LMG Grenadiers. I did have the option of merging into the machine gun with the conscripts to keep it on the front lines. Flak Panzer for Apple Chief.
We are losing a sector.
Still has no anti-tank gun support for that, so not a good idea. Oh, Katyusha, big hits. Now the SU-85 also piling on. Frag bombs. Doesn't look like they hit too much, just stunning the Sherman, didn't penetrate. MG42 decrewed. We've still got the MGs back there. Oh, but he manages to snake away that machine gun just before getting suppressed. Strafing run coming in over here. Apple Chief trying to dodge away. But this doesn't do that much damage. Typically. Oh, the Volksgrenadiers die. Was that to their own incendiary grenade or to a Molotov? I don't know. Either way, they're standing in flames and down they go. Decent grenades on approach. That's they're alive as well. We've got a Soviet mortar from MobyDack now. Oftentimes a pretty good option for the flares in the late game. We build on the Strug for Apple Chief. And the King Tiger on the field now for Kejsare. Definitely still needs some more infantry and maybe a Raketin, second Raketin to support that as well. Looks like the Axis rolling down this right hand side. One has quite a lot of fuel, just lacking the manpower maybe for the Jackson. Okay. T-grenades going off. Got the SU-85 coming in, but missing its first shot. There's some sight blockers in that area as well. Might be tricky to get value. Chusha coming down. Not hitting too much, but pretty well targeted. Scatter just not really lining up. SU-85 bouncing a few shots here. Maxim staying in position, trying to get the decro on this Raketin. It does allow a lot more freedom for the SU-85 now. It's just coming back in. Maxim does go down, but here comes the Stug. Sherman facing the wrong direction. Got a Zis barrage on this stack of Grenadiers. Not hitting too much though. It needs to switch back over to shooting at the tanks. Oh, that's a really good suppressing plane. Slows down that Grenadier blob massively. Wipe on one of them. Got a... Is that Calliope out the back there? Strip goes down. So did the Sherman though. I didn't see that out the back there. Tiger backing away. SU-85 a little bit slow pushing up to land a bit more damage on this, but don't think he would have got the kill on it. So overall, it seems like the Allies coming out on top. You can see the army size is much, much larger. Apple Chief's a bit too reckless with the with his tanks. So they go backing away, but now you can see why you need two Raketins, because if one gets forced away like that, you still have a backup for the King Tiger. Can keep the SU-85s at bay. Branching out, quite a few mines down here. Yeah, I think that's a good choice going for the VP instead of this point. VP is more important than denying a little bit of resources at this stage of the game. And this is not cutting anything off by going for this point either, so I think that was a good choice. Might be able to decap it in time just before those squads arrive, but retreat early.
Capture complete.
Stay safe. A lot of troops over here for the Allies, though. Axis, meanwhile, branching out to the other side of the map. That's where the Sherman can really be strong. If it was still alive, just force away these kind of squads, especially with the Axis, you know, having lost so many mediums, Apple Chief, and with the heavy tank of Kejsare. They're not going to have anything really to counter the Sherman with at this stage. Reasonable dodge on the infiltration nades, and Kejsare losing Volksgrenadiers. Still has plenty of manpower to rebuild with. Has maybe rebuilt one Volksgrenadier so far. It's enough manpower to build another 4. Oh, finally going for some obers. Okay. Calliope onto the base. Machine gun there as well. And annihilates a really good scatter there. Oh no, maybe it didn't. I don't see the kill indicator. But it did die. Indicator just didn't work somehow. Strange. Oh, KV-8 down this side. Okay, decent option. Problem with the KV-8 compared to the Sherman is a lot slower. If the Axis do get a Stug or a Panther or something like this, the KV-8 going to have a harder time getting away from that. That's pretty much exactly what we're about to see here. Take an engine crit right here. Can switch over to the 45mm gun. Might be able to beat the Stug if he did that immediately. Not switching over. Maybe is now. No. And it's going to go down. Meanwhile, big damage over here. Rakit and D-Crew got some flames coming down as well. There goes the KV-8. I don't even know the Stug had been rebuilt when I said that. Coming up here with the Jackson as well. Tiger a little bit inactive, maybe reluctant to push forwards without the Rakit and support. So just sitting back here at this stage. Still are holding on to this VP, the Axis, so it's kind of doing something, but are starting to fall behind on the victory points now. Might be ready to go again. Here it comes. A second Katyusha coming in from MobyDack. I think is probably fair. The Axis haven't shown the strongest armor control to this point. Katyushas have been getting some pretty big wipes. Katyusha and Calliope, but I would say that's the max. Can't get another Calliope on top of that. Be a bit too risky. One plane up in the air. I don't think it's essential to get a quad to shoot that down. Ooh, nasty hits there from the King Tiger. Q85 a bit slow to join in on the action. Jackson through the center here, going for the Schwer, trying to knock that out. Just to back off though when the Stug arrives. Stug gets some really good hits. Black Pan's on the side, getting the engine crit. Here comes the King Tiger again. The Q85 finally mobilizing. Very slow getting into action here though. Looks like it's having all sorts of pathfinding issues in that little area.
Reconnaissance flight ready at your disposal.
Comes now. So his first shot. No Rakitten anywhere near, so relatively safe. Finally getting some damage in there. Got a machine gun in this building, but it's facing the wrong direction at this stage. C-85 just having a nightmare, missing almost every shot. Axis though, good job getting up to this point and harassing that. It's keeping them competitive on the victory points, even though they haven't really contested the center too often. And repairing up the Schwerpanzer headquarters, that's not going to go down. It's got the sweepers though for the faster repair times. Definitely required. Forward retreat point here for Juan, but it's not that far forwards. You do have slower reinforcement times when forward retreat point is active. So in this case, you know, the time you save running to this point, probably going to be paying for reinforcement time. Might not actually be saving much there. At the back. Assault guards kind of staying in place, baiting these squads. Oh, monster hits too. Is that with the creeping barrage? No, that was double Katyusha barrage. Nice kills there. Rear echelon out the back, capping now. Rebuild on the rear echelon. Decent option if you are going to get the sweepers. Doesn't have room in the pop cap. Could decrew, but that would probably put one over that 109 pop cap. So his manpower at that stage would crater down to about 50, I think it is. Very expensive. And the Su-85 all the way out the back here, not in position to assist against the conscripts pushing in. You're going to be pushing forwards like that, especially when you know enemy's anti-tank gun has been destroyed. You don't have to worry about getting ambushed by it. You need to have that Su-85 up and ready to fire. Here comes the Panther. Su-85 and Zis getting some nice hits in there, stopping it in its tracks. Recon plane on the far side. So the Jackson's going to come and assist. Double Jacksons. Just under that pop cap limit. Jackson missing his first shot. King Tiger on spearhead mode at the moment. Second Jackson joining in now. Tiger's armor holding strong though. A lot of bounces there.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Able to get back onto this VP though is Apple Chief. Oh, Katyusha barrage is coming in. Slightly off target this time though. Not hitting too much.
Our territory is falling into enemy
I
hands.
think one of those was a creeping barrage, right? Looked like it. Su-85 I think is in Fausting range here. Rear armor exposed. So the Panther's still too low to come in. Planes poured in as well as the incendiary artillery and the fair propaganda. All the off maps. Not probably only one of them necessary. Probably only the fair propaganda, but alright. Grenadiers meanwhile going down in the north. Apple Chief can go with the soft retreats here. Lost some a squad, and here comes the Jackson now. We do have a Stug nearby, in fact double Stugs. Jackson could be in some trouble. Missing its first shot as well after a terrible start. Here come the Stugs. Still do have the rifleman there for some snares. Oh, but there they go now. Here come the Stugs. Jackson getting out of there. Stugs may be losing vision, but getting it. Jackson getting blocked by the other Jackson. Fires off some smoke there. Oh, and the Jackson missing, shooting uphill. Rifleman providing some vision. Jackson misses again. Having a real horror show with this Jackson. Gotta be careful. The double Strugs could still line up and do some big damage. Decides to back away. The Strug also vetted up. We have the rate of fire advantage. S-35 coming in from the side. Recon plane might have seen it. Jackson going back in now. Some rockets flying as well. S-35 having some pathfinding issues. And missing. Attack rounds also missing. Oh boy. Looks like the Strug's going to be able to back away there. Stuka did fire. First barrage. Looks like he was targeting these team weapons. Didn't hit too much though. Tiger rolling through the center now though. That's going to be tough to handle. 22 kills already on that. Okay, the S-35 did chase in. Apple Chief didn't back all the way to base and he pays the price. Loses both of his Strugs. Trying to do some forward retreat, forward repairs. S-35 on focus sight mode there, providing the vision. But here comes the Panther looking to clean this up. S-35 could be in some trouble. An AT gun here though for Juan. It's not assisting. Unfortunately, Jackson missing from long range. S-35 gonna go down to the Panther. Jackson activating the armor piercing rounds, but the Panther's already making tracks and getting out of there. Bit of a shame. If one set up the AT gun, maybe could have dissuaded the Panther from staying in there. Probably would have required a little bit of pin luck as well, but got to try it out. Okay, comm engineers on the run there. T-34 for MobyDack as well as another S-35. It's a bit of pop cap freed up by conscript squad loss, I believe, dodging forwards with the grenade, but again runs right into that flak base. Trying to throw assault grenades, but not going to work, and that's a nasty retreat past the King Tiger. Jackson coming in. Recon plane shot down very quickly. With the flak pans on the field, not really worth using this recon run. I'll try to take that out first. And control the VPs at this stage, but Allies still do have a small lead, and Kejsare just throwing away a Volksmedia there. Well, good idea. Got the mortar flares coming up from MobyDack. Very, very good idea. There's a walking Stuka though, dodging off to the side as one. And the walking Stuka getting some friendly fire down there. Didn't count, but it looks like it did damage to the stern post. He's coming in from multiple angles here. MG42 in some trouble. Might be onto this side though. Oh, doesn't quite get the wipes. Close call. Share out the backs. Hitting too much though. Oh, but the planes. Big damage. The Obers go down. That was well targeted. Kind of catching them as they were retreating into it. You saw my guide on this commander. You'll know that that's when they can really get the damage done, get the wipes. And the retreat lines up with the plane's attack path. Okay, we've got a Tiger now for Apple Chief. Definitely needs a lot more pioneers for repairs now as well though. Jackson coming in, pops the AP ammo. But the Panther's coming in as well. Got the AT gun back there for one also. T-34 goes in for the ram, but I don't think he's got enough speed to catch the Panther. S-35 looking to come in from the side, but kind of hidden behind the tree line. And T-34 is going to go down. S-35 missing on the KT. This also backing away. The Katyushas, if I would be probably targeting this building in the corner with them. I think the Allies have spotted the machine gun in there. Not 100%, but I believe so. Double Katyushas on that house would just flatten it, so it would be a pretty strong option. And then, you know, that building couldn't be used against the Allies for the rest of the game to hold on to this VP. Now the T-34 from MobyDack, maybe going to try to get some more RAM action going. Well, the SU-85 would also be a fine choice. You complain, but still have that flak pads on the field. And shot down very quickly. I provide enough vision for a Katyusha barrage though. Targeting the tank. Can do a little bit of damage to it, but not the best. Others dodge out to the side quite quickly. Engine crit on the SU-85. Double Jacks is right there. KT's going to back away. Okay, the mortar's going to work on that. Also a good option. Leading the charge. Double Jacksons hammering away out the back. Not hitting too much with that walking Stuka barrage. Clock has stopped at this stage. Oh, MG just getting out of there before the mortar finishes it off. For now for Apple Chief into the center, Captain. Good dodge there for Juan. Incendiary grenade out. Again, the VP's most important, more important than killing a cache, I would say. Out the back onto the tech truck. Sprinkles of damage. It's there from the double Jackson combo. Flak pans are spinning around here, jammed. Makes pathfinding by the Tiger, and down it goes late to activate the smoke. And now that opens up the opportunity for these recon planes to be very strong. 5 combining with the focus sight mode. KT in the center. In some trouble here, takes a hammering. Katyusha's onto the Ford truck here. And he's dodging away. Surviving. But now the tank destroyer is crawling forwards. Axis don't have any anti-tank guns to counter this. So they're just asking for trouble. Panther just getting slammed by the Jacksons. One more shot and it'll go down, but I think it's just getting out of range. Got a snare off just before getting pinned, but now the King Tiger's the one getting focused. Lost vision maybe with the focus sight mode, so the tank destroyer's switching over. Going for the Schwerpanzer headquarters. Tiger coming in from the rear with the anti-tank gun back there, but it's not facing the right direction. This could be the end of the Jackson. No, it's just hanging in. Walking Stuka didn't quite do enough damage to result in the death, and now the Tiger's actually in some trouble. Popping smoke to get out. Looks like the Jackson's not going to chase through the smoke. Fair enough. But yeah, the Axis asking for trouble with no anti-tank guns against all these tank destroyers. Triple cap against the A-axis though, they're draining out very quickly now. Mortar's coming in from the side here, getting suppressed, but the mortar might still get decrewed, especially if there was a grenade. Incendiary artillery down. Calliope getting big hits on these grenadiers. I think that was a Katyusha as well, right? Both of them targeting this area. Panzer headquarters getting repaired up, but he's prioritizing that over repairing up the tanks. Definitely still needs to spend that manpower on a couple Raketans that will make all the difference to the Axis right now. He pretty much has enough pop cap to go for 2 of them. Axis do manage to wrestle control of this VP at the very least. The Jacksons are healthy, they're very highly vetted now, quite formidable. No flak panzer to shoot down this plane. He does activate the anti-air mode. Oh, there we go. Panzerwerfer left on the front lines, now deceased. Oh, that was just a regular major recon pass. Not the P-47 recon run. So the Allies really want to finish off this flak base. Allies have to give up on the repairs. Jackson's swinging around to shoot at that next. After the King Tiger forced away. One more shot and that is dead. There it goes. And both the tanks extremely low now for Kejsare. Plane up scouting, but shot down very luckily by the Pintle on the King Tiger. Tank destroyers pushing in, hoping for some damage on the KT, but the Tiger come around the corner and just to snipe off the walking Stuka, but looks like the Jackson committing too deep. Gonna go down here. Does eventually get this Raketin though. Oh, and this could be trouble for the Su-85 now. We've got a snaring squad right there. Tiger and Hopper shoot, could pop the blitz. Too slow on the snares though. Looks like the Su-85's going to escape. Rocket artillery just slamming down out the back. Axis do get off to the far corner though. Want to relieve that VP pressure down to just 82 points. Panther now for Apple Chief. Kejsare has now got the double Raketins going. Picked up the one that was over here finally. So, did he pick up with over models? Ugh. That's very expensive Raketin to reinforce now. 40 manpower. Chusha over to the far side. Grenadiers on the run. Allies going to get the cap going again. King Tiger and Panther still alive for Kejsare, just super slow on the repairs. Rebuilding the Schwerpanzer headquarters now as well. Just there's so many resources, why not, you know? Good propaganda coming down now. It'd be pretty hard when that's right on your forward retreat point. Oh, the Fox Grenadiers go down, unable to get away. Tiger coming across though. Tiger's vetting up very nicely. 0 kills, or now it's got 1, but all damage onto the Jacksons basically. Connecting. Conscripts with the anti-tank grenades. Tiger backing away though. Where's the Faust from Kejsare on the Su-85? Where is it? Tiger now getting chased down. If this had an engine crit, this wouldn't be possible. So slow, but there it goes finally. Okay. A fresh Panther now for Apple Chief. Maybe gonna try and finish off the Su-85. Oh, the double Raketin's gonna see to that. But one of them maybe going to get decrewed though by the assault guards, or maybe not. The flak saving the day there. Recon plane up now for Juan. Got the Jackson and the AT gun getting to work here, and that's an engine crit on the King Tiger. Shit. Oh, catches these grenadiers on approach. Panthers there as well, taking some hits. Infantry grenadiers though, taking that AT gun down very quickly. Here come the double Panthers, double Jacksons. Gotta be careful. Pretty well at this stage though, the grenadier front line melting in the face of these high vet riflemen. I think they've got bars as well as M1919s, at least a couple of them do. An extremely strong close call there, nearly gets the kill shot on the Panther. Grenadiers do end up going down. Jax is pushing in, but the double Raketans are right there. Oh, they split their damage between the two Jacksons. So neither of them ends up going down. Propaganda working well. The double Katyushas onto the forward retreat point now would be devastating. Not quite ready to fire though. Can Tiger back up to full strength? Goes for a close range ram and it penetrates. At least getting some value out of that T-34. Here comes the Calliope now onto the forward retreat. Nearly knocks out two squads. The base itself extremely low. S-35 fresh one coming in, but having his vision blocked by the vehicle wreck there. Rifleman coming across looking for the snare. I think he used the captain's on me to get across there a bit faster. Tiger shrugging off the damage, getting around the corner. Tough for the S-35 to chase around there. Big Werfer strike, huge damage on MobyDack. Has to give up the chase. Okay, there goes the battle group. The Shred Panzer headquarters is also extremely low. Could this be the end of the... Yep, the Jackson goes down. Panther sniping it off max range. Here comes the Katyushas now though. Targeting the mechanized truck. The Jackson looking for some revenge, but losing sight for a follow-up hit. Needed one more to kill off that Panther. He's got the recon plane coming up now though. Shred Panzer headquarters dead. Jackson with the AP ammo running. Takes a hit from the King Tiger though. And misses the return shot. We've got a fresh Panther out the back for Apple Chief. Comes back with the Jackson. Got to make sure he doesn't take an engine crit. We'll get away for the moment. The Panther in hot pursuit. Gives up the chase though. Ready's again heading up to the north. Incendiary artillery out the back combining with the Katyushas. Oh, the Pi is getting slaughtered. 15 VPs left, but the Axis are coming up to the north. There's a preemptive GG, but it's not quite done yet. Just more and more Jacksons, just queuing them up. Third Katyusha now from MobyDack. I don't think that's the right call though. Axis still do have quite a few tanks. I think the T-34 is, you know, just going for the Rams. Acting as a unit to chase away units on the flank to open up the capping opportunities was a better choice. Rifleman. It is so badly outvetted, don't stand a chance even in the light cover craters. The Apple Chief just completely forgetting about them as well. Loses both squads. Second Werfer now for Apple Chief. Oh, no dodge. Oh, just getting out there in time. Trying to get in here. Throws out a blink corper. Conscripts come around the corner. Filtration nades. All the nades from those obers. But eventually, assault guards getting in close range, full health. There's another machine gun back there still though. 9 points left. Just got to do something. They just don't have any infantry nearby to cap with. Maybe the Raketten can get into the center. They're making some moves. So is the Tiger. If they pop blitz, maybe they could have killed off that Jackson. 5 points remaining now. Oh, the infantry getting slaughtered. Panther getting out back though. Very vulnerable. The allies out here. 3 Katyushas just standing there. But it's too little too late for the Axis. Well, overall, I think Apple Chief just a little bit too reckless with the tanks. You know, with the double Stugs, with the flak panzers, really set the Axis back through the mid game. Once he had the Tiger out, he was doing pretty well, but up until that point, not so good. Kejsare also with way too much manpower float throughout this entire match. Don't think I basically saw him under 600 manpower past maybe the 15-minute mark. And that allowed the Allies a pretty big advantage throughout most of the match. The Katyushas getting some nasty wipes throughout the game. Calliope also getting some pretty good hits. Forward bases here really getting punished. Continuously barraged. And the Axis lacking anti-tank guns to force off the Allied tank destroyers. Allowed those Jacksons really just uncounted. Just doing so well throughout the entire match. Getting some great vet on them as well. And overall, I think a bit of team coordination from the Allies. Had some, nice team ups coming down this flank. Overall, better coordination and better teamwork, better results. GG. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next throwing installment. Goodbye and good luck.